Rich kids totally have power in global music. Remember Paris Hilton? Well, even though she's not that talented in music, but at least she can grab global attention.
When you have some solid financial stability, you can have access to global music, you can travel, you can go to concerts, you can buy the CDs, you can do basically whatever you want because you can do it.
In some families that are not so rich or not rich at all, people don't have time to think about global music, experimental music, electronic music. They think about what shall we do tomorrow to eat.
So what do you think?
I think today anyone, more than ever, more people have the ability to be heard. But of course people with more means, i.e. rich people, have more possibilities to get what they do, whether it's music or anything else out there.
I think in the global music scene, many people voice their art, their music, but few are heard actually.
When I've traveled to the Middle East and South Asia, I've noticed a spectrum of global music, ranging from music that is produced and packaged for export to the international world music scene, to music that's produced in more localized spaces for a primarily domestic audience, the latter of which often doesn't get heard on a larger scale due primarily to socioeconomic factors.
There are poor kids who make or poor people, marginalized people who make, marginalized artists who make innovative music, and rich kids who know how to make money off of it and have the social, cultural capital and status to be able to use that music for their own benefit.
Maybe he can change the music world for a certain time, but he needs the money and the power of the industry, the music industry, the big major labels, to get the whole thing and to get the big deal. So it's like a matter of time. Do you make the compromise or not?
But nowadays with the internet, the crowdfunding, the open source, all kind of materials everyone can do and everyone can search and produce music. I think not. The upper rich class do not influence so much global music as poor class. Valeu!
Is there any difference between accepting money from a private investor or company and money from the state in the end?
Any kinds of funding strategies nowadays, because of the dire situation of the music industry and especially of independent record companies, practically any funding strategy is acceptable.
Music in Egypt now is not about rich kids, and nor is music from Egypt about rich kids. It's about kids from informal neighborhoods who started making music on a bootleg PC, Fruity Loops, and a YouTube channel.
In Europe, money for the arts and money for freelance journalists who write about music becomes less and less. So I believe there are less and less people within arts councils and also less and less journalists who really do research, who try to find not the first artist in a certain place, the one that everyone already wrote about, but the second, the third, the upcoming. So I think there is not too much research going on the bigger platforms, on the platforms that still decide who is being heard in global music. And this is, I think, a problem.
Now the internet is the kind of democracy of information. Everybody has the same power and the same abilities to search all kind of music. And if you look in the Brazil, the main influence here is the body funk music, and isn't a rich upper rich class the body funk community. Is the other side of the coin.
And I promise you, if you happen to catch any of these guys live, you will do nothing else but dance, and dance wildly at that.